Good morning and welcome to Random Friday Musing. A little bit earlier this morning, but when you're inspired, you're inspired. And I wanted to come on and talk today, what I was thinking about this morning, was kind of life skills. You know, when I was at school, long time ago, we learnt various life skills about how to open a bank account and, how to write a check and so on and things like this. Really, really useful things. And as I got older, I started doing things like calculus and things like this. And excuse me. And I realised now that these are, learning calculus is something I don't need. I've never used it. It hasn't helped me in the slightest way as I go throughout my life. And I look back at schooling and there's so much of it that I don't use nowadays. And I hear from, friends and so on and read about the kind of things they teach children in school now. No, we learnt cooking. Again, that's a very useful life skill. But there seem to be a lot of things that are taught nowadays that don't actually seem useful. They don't seem helpful. Actually, once we grow up. And here I am looking back and I'm thinking, what are the life skills that I think that we should teach to children and teenagers that actually serve them for the rest of their lives? And I wrote a little list about the things that, have really helped me in my life and in my journey, and that I believe would help everybody, no matter who they are. And the first one I put down was a listening skill. I can't remember who it was. There was somebody who said, if you want to help change someone's mind, the first thing you do is you listen to them. If you want to help somebody become more loving to everybody, you have to listen to their experiences, to where their prejudices have come from. And what we don't do enough of nowadays is just sitting down and listening to other people, listening to their heart, to their pains. In fact, we don't even spend enough time just sitting and listening to ourselves. The idea that we take a moment to just say, how am I? What do I need? We don't do this enough. So I feel that teaching people the ability to really listen to others without having to interject, without putting their own ideas and painting the other person in the way that they want to see them, just listening would be a fantastic skill. The next one I wrote was talking. I know that when I was younger I felt as if nobody actually heard me, but I realised it, yes, because other people weren't listening, but it was also because I wasn't actually talking. I wasn't telling people what I needed, how I felt. And if we can't express what is going on inside of us, how do we get help? We need to teach young people how to get in contact with themselves and then have the ability to say to others, I have a need. I want something. I am lacking something within my life. I am feeling however they're feeling in that moment. To have the ability to share, to talk about who we are is so incredibly important. So that was the next life skill that I felt would benefit so many people. And sharing energy, sharing time, sharing love, sharing what we have. We have grown up in a world that's very much centred on, what can I get? What do I need? And yes, that is right at times, but there are also moments when we say, well, I don't need so much here, so what do I do with it? How do I share this? How do I share my love with other people? And that's helped me immensely. It's figuring out how to share and what I can share without without losing myself. Good morning, Joyce. Yes, sharing is so good. And, we always say, oh, I don't have enough. But we do. We honestly do have enough to share. We have enough love, enough patience, enough kindness to share. Then the next thing that came up for me was meditation. And I know that some schools now are teaching meditation. But this has been one of the most incredibly valuable skills that I have ever embraced. I mean, it's just so special. Even if it's just 5 minutes a day to sit down, to be with yourself, to connect, to listen, to feel, to know who you are. We change so much every single day. And unless we spend a little bit of time with ourselves, how do we know where our next step is going to be? So many of us just walk blindly down this path and going, oh, well, here's the path. I don't really know where I'm going. But when we stop for a moment and just reassess and get in touch and feel and seek wisdom from within ourselves and from our higher selves, from our guides, our angels, whoever we believe in and work with, then we know that our next step won't just be, blindly falling off the edge of a cliff, but instead it will be considered and it will take us forward into where our heart truly, truly wants us to go. So my life changed when I brought meditation in. It was so incredibly valuable. And I would recommend it for everybody, no matter what you're going through in life. Then the next skill I felt was incredibly important was calmness. Life just chucks stuff at us constantly. You have one calm moment and then suddenly the world goes, no, we're going to have to divert you with some more stuff. We're going to have to throw some more issues at you. And it's so easy for us to go into a panic. And when we panic, we react in completely the wrong way. Panic never actually led us to act in a way that is sensible and good for us. So to teach children how to come back into themselves, to be calm, to look at everything before they react, to look at everything so that they can then act forward rather than simply reacting in this panic, to learn breathing techniques, to center ourselves. Very, very good for us. And then the final life skill that I wrote down was gratitude. To be grateful for everything we have, to be grateful for our lives, for our hearts. So many of us run around saying what we don't have, looking at a world of lack, even projecting lack into the future. Oh my God, next month I won't have enough. How do we know this? We still seem to get through each month. We still seem to survive. So it's time for us to turn around and actually look at what we have. Look at all the gifts. Look around your room. Look around your life. And appreciate everything that is there for you. And if we can begin to bring this into young people's lives so that they can look at all that they do have, then it gives them a chance to consider, do they need more? What do they really need in life? I know I've been the kind of person that's gone, you know what, my life is not complete without that new pair of shoes. I didn't get the shoes. My life is still complete. Now, this sense of gratitude, this sense of knowing what we already have is so incredibly important. And it's these skills that I've listed here that I think we need to really bring into the lives of young people. We've already lived quite a while and we know what's important to us. But if somebody perhaps 30, 40 years ago had turned around to us and said, you know what, if you can bring calm gratitude into your life and you can listen to other people and share your wisdom with them, how would life have been different? If we'd considered that our happiness is very important, how would life have changed? If we'd learnt that we don't have to be afraid as we step forward in our life, how would life have been different for us? Hi Sam. A lot of young people have a real sense of entitlement. Yes, I'm really sad to hear that, but it's true. And if we can help anyone, if we can help children just appreciate who they are and the gifts that they have, gifts that aren't dependent on having a new Xbox, gifts that actually reside within them, that reside within every single person across the globe, I think it would be a really, really wonderful thing. So maybe the schools aren't teaching this, but we can. We can help young people see this. We all have a wonderful opportunity to connect in love and in light with everyone out there. So let's do it. So that's my thought for today, my Friday musing, and I hope it's one that you will take out there and share and use. And I wish you a day of wonder and joy and beauty in which you will appreciate who you are and all that you have. And long may your days continue like that. I look forward to seeing you again. And I send you many, many light blessings. Bye-bye.